Okay, so I didn't do my analysis this week yet properly since yesterday was bank holiday, so I wasn't really interested in anything, but I thought it's been a while. Let's do some markups together. So if I'm looking at EU, it's pretty much following the direction that I was looking at, the overall bullish trend. However, unfortunately, didn't get in on any of this move because you can see that we just missed the demand zone. So therefore, I didn't actually start looking for any entries. Let me just close Discord. I don't know if you can hear it, but I got some notifications. Anyways, so therefore, it's pretty much gone. Like it should just continue going up to take out the highs. But if you're gonna be super retail, you could see that you got the liquidity forming here. So price could always just come down to take it out and continue back up. I don't know if it will come to this demand, but it could because you see we have this demand right above it, which also has the opening gap. So there's basically a lot of nice liquidity here, and price could just continue down to take out the liquidity and come into this demand again. But at this point, since this zone wasn't tapped, what I'd prefer if there is any opportunities to get in on EU again is that price comes down, and I just want to see like all of this get liquidated basically, and I want to see a new minor break like we got over here, and then a fresh demand form. So I'd rather wait for a trade from a fresh demand zone and let these get liquidated basically. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for on EU. GU, look, I look at a pair and it's very quick for me to decide if it's interesting enough to look at or not, and I am not interested in GU. We could at least wait for this minor break in structure and then the retracement to start, but it's extremely bullish at the moment. As you can see, it didn't really reach any of the demand zones. Like there's one here, there was like one down here. So it's pretty much just not even following any demand chain, and it's just rallying up really strongly. So I wouldn't want to get in too early into shorts for retracement trades. AUD is not interesting to me because if you look at it, we had like such a big rally, and now overall, this is really consolidative price action. And you can see here as well, you had like this massive consolidation, and then it just dropped. Yeah, so for me, too messy, not interested at all. NU is more clean and interesting to me. You can see that we've started the retracement. Unfortunately, I don't see there is not any clean supply in this move. So what we could wait for is price will come back. Since there's no supply, it will probably liquidate this high, right? And then you could just wait for the liquidity grab, break in the minor structure, and then would trade from a fresh supply. Since there's currently no supply, we're just waiting for fresh supply and a break over here. So yeah, wait for some sort of liquidity grab first. It is also bullish overall, and if I'm looking for demand, it should come to about here. So we're not looking for like full reversal, but if I just do premium discount 50%, let's do that. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of dropping quite aggressively, so there's always a chance it could just make the 50% already and continue up. So that's what I'll look for. Gold was not really interesting to me. Again, 50%. We're in premium already, so technically the retracement is over. There was no clean supply here. Like, this isn't clean. That one is, let me just draw these. That one is mitigated over there. This one is also mitigated over here. And then this was the next clean one, but you can see that obviously that one got liquidated because price moved up higher. This is the extreme demand, but yeah, we have to see if price reaches that level. It will be more high probability for these short continuation trades. But since we've reached 50%, if price breaks this minor structure, or yeah, this minor low, it's more likely that it might just continue down without us already. So yeah, you can enter that if you are feeling impatient, but if you want to take high probability, you can wait to see if price comes all the way up here. Obviously, for gold, that is quite a significant high, like all time. So I don't trade gold, I'm only analyzing for you guys since you always request gold, but I think it's very messy. UJ, I shared this yesterday, but I mean, thankfully, I didn't get in any trades. I did get one over here and took a stop loss, but you can see that it is just going for so many liquidity grabs. Look, another one over there swoops the low and then moves up higher. So, but there was no 5-minute confirmation entries, so, or 15. There was basically no entry setup. So, even though analysis direction is correct, it is too messy with all these liquidity grabs and there's no valid entries. But what we can do now is, we've got a really strong break over here and a clean, fresh demand. So let's see if price can come back here, and if this holds, maybe we finally get that bullish trend continuation. Similar story on USD CAD, but hasn't come into the demand yet. So if you see, if price comes in to react to this demand, then at the same time we should be tapping into this one. So they should be aligning, which will be good. But yeah, that should be like this. Anyways, let's see. Okay, well, this was obviously low probability because it's like halfway. This didn't continue upwards like I expected. USDCH chef. It's just like playing around the lows. It didn't break yet, so there is no demand here, but we are following the bullish trend. We got the break, and now we have a fresh new demand. So price again, just like UJ and UCAD, could just come down here and continue to the upside. So that'll be interesting. Obviously, keep your risk in mind when you're trading correlated pairs, because if all three of those setups don't play out, you're going to have 3 losses. So I would say just wait for like the cleanest setup out of these 3, and whichever one has the cleanest confirmation entry, take that one instead of overexposing yourself by trading correlated pairs. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, this is messy. Again, it's just a consolidation range. I mean, even from here, it's like that. But even more recently, it's just this really ugly rectangle. But yeah, let's just be mechanical. Okay, we broke over here. But yeah, it should be retracing, but it's just playing around again in this area. So This is playing out like I expected, but again, it's just lacking momentum. I don't really trade these like red pairs like CHF and stuff. They don't have a lot of volume, but I've just analyzed it. Should be, going to the highs, but it's ranging a lot here. So I'll just skip those. It's the same sort of thing. CAD JPY, there was no demand, that's why I didn't look for entries. And again, you can see this really nasty barcode price action, but it's finally breaking up to the upside. You're getting the minor break structure and the fresh demand zone over here, but yeah, I don't like it because we swept the lows, and now, yeah, let's see if it does find momentum to push to the upside. What else do I have here? Okay, that's just nasty price action. This seems to be respecting my analysis. It only just missed the demand zone, so therefore I have no entry on this. It can still come back. Um, what I think it will do is, since we created this new demand over here, it'll probably liquidate this low and come into this bottom demand. And yeah, you can see that we've swept the lows here, so it'll be a strong continuation trade if we get it. This is messy. This one I was interested in, but it started getting quite messy up here. I was waiting for this demand, but let's see, because this is technically like liquidity, so price can come down here and continue up. But it's taken forever. Same with UCAD. There's no valid entry, and to be honest, this touch isn't very convincing. We do only just now have the minor break and structure, so but there's like not really any clean demand here. So what I'll expect again is potentially price will come down, take all this liquidity, maybe even take the liquidity of the lows over here, right? And like, let me just do this more zoomed out. Why can I not scroll? Hold on. There we go. Think it will come as far as this, and then I would want another break, demand, and then continuation up. But that's a pretty big move considering this is just EuroCAD, so there's not, a lot of crazy volume to drive that move. So that move might play out over a long time. And if we zoom out, you can also see we are in just sideways movement, so not the cleanest. Again, not even gonna bother with this, just sideways. GJ, not really any clean demand. And then that one got liquidated as well. There was demand here, but yeah, price never went there, so it did complete the retracement, went to 50%, and it's now continuing up. So, but obviously, we're not going to trade from the middle of the move unless price comes back down here, takes out this liquidity. Let me just draw it so it's clear. Takes out this liquidity, and then maybe takes the liquidity of this demand, but I would just wait for a fresh demand to form and then continuation to the upside. Your AUD, well, that is also just messy. There's no demand, and then it's going up. Yeah. what's this? And then we're back at Euro USD. So those are my thoughts. Maybe one of the pairs that I missed, you think is interesting. But yeah, share your analysis and views with me, what you guys are looking at for this week or just recently. And yeah, let's see how the market reacts.